Hi, welcome back to my channel, Open the Door. This is episode 107, Unlocking How I Became a Human Lie Detector. Truth has a frequency, and I'm tuned into it. Have you ever felt the shift in the energy when you're talking to someone and right before they say something, you already sense that it's not true? Well, me too. I used to think that I was kind of imagining things when I would pick up on lies before people even opened their mouth. But now I know better. So the energy of a lie and untruths, it hits different. And we all have a radar when it comes to this. So I'm going to tell you about how you can start to become a human lie detector if you're not one already. Your body and your mind pick up on these subtle energetic mismatches or shifts in our interactions with others. And your body often will pick up on this before your mind catches up to what's going on. So here's some examples of how your body responds when you're faced with a lie from another. Number one would be the tightening in the gut. You know, that gut feeling. This is the most common response, and it's like a feeling like a pit in your stomach. A clenching, like you're bracing for something, like you're about to get punched in the stomach. There can be a throat tightness or a feeling of a blockage where suddenly you can't speak, or you're feeling a lump in your throat, or your voice cracks when you do try to speak. Skin reactions are a body response. Things like goosebumps or chills or sweating or the prickling on the back of your neck, all indications that something is not right. Our nervous system is activated by increased heart rate, a shift in our breathing, and our muscles tense as well. And then another physical response to untruths would be eye and ear sensitivity. So unconsciously, we narrow our eyes or tilt our head when the person's relaying these untruths to us. We might hear ringing in our ears, or a sound muffled, or like a deadening of sound. And then there's the energetic withdrawal. So our body response where we instinctively pull away or lean away from the person who's speaking untruths. Or we might, in defensiveness, cross our arms, or even feel a need to just turn and walk away and leave the room. So I'm talking about me right now, but how did I get to be like this hyper perceptive person where I can pick up on lies before they even walk in the room? Well, it is a result from societal conditioning, but it's also, for me, a result from trauma. And where I eventually learned that my safety depended on being able to read other people's energy accurately. So then it became hypervigilant, and this hypervigilance actually became a survival mechanism for me. So, and then what happens is the nervous system becomes finely attuned to micro signals. So I can pick up on little signals in people's behaviors and even in their facial expressions that signal to me that there might be danger or untruth too. So what results from all this hypervigilance and being able to pick up on these micro signals is that I'm extremely empathetic. I have an empathetic sensitivity, and my intuitive insight is on point, extremely high level of intuitive insight. So there's blessings and burdens that come with being a human lie detector. And the blessings are things, it's a form of protection. It helps me to navigate through life. I've learned to trust my gut and my instinct, and I have boundless compassion and empathy for others, but always it's going to be tempered with wisdom and discretion. There's no more me having my kindness mistaken as weakness. So I've been able to set healthy boundaries by tapping into this human lie detector skill that I have. But the burden that goes with it is, well, it can be exhausting and overwhelming, because being an empath, I feel other people's pain. And I often have an inner knowing about people's past, and a realization of how many souls are actually in need of healing out there in the world. It can all be pretty heavy burden to carry. So what do? Do I speak up or stay silent? Well, it's based on the circumstances and the person and my relationship to them. And also my intuitive guidance will lead me what the next step would be. Sometimes I may need to address something later on with somebody, and sometimes I just keep it zipped. So, I come across these truths, whether it's, untruths, I should say, in normal conversation with people, or it's this deeper level of knowing the truth about others, where I can look at them and I can pick up on their pain. So, along my path, as my healing has occurred, these gifts of being able to read others' pain and read their energy, these gifts have increased, but there's a big responsibility that comes with it, and I take that responsibility very seriously. So along this path, as I've said, as I've healed through my own trauma and my pain, and my energy is no longer cluttered up with all these old traumas and pains, it's made space for long buried gifts to emerge, which has to do with my empathetic nature, being able to read energy. So, and as I said, I'm also highly intuitive as well. I don't have to work purposefully to develop these gifts because I don't need to. Over time, I've learned to trust and implement them just as part of my regular daily life. So they're as much a part of my natural essence now as my heartbeat or every breath that I take. But as I said, it is a big responsibility to have this inner knowing and a sight beyond what others can see. And I do take it very seriously, with a deep knowing of the opportunities that are coming ahead for me to teach others how to develop these gifts as well. So I've learned when to listen to my higher self through my life experiences and through this healing of the wounds, and I've honed and solidified these aspects of my true nature. I trust my inner sight and my knowing because they've taught me time and time again that this is where the truth lies. Not just my truth, but all those that I encounter. But this being a human lie detector is not anything about judging or calling people out. It's about feeling when energy and words don't match. But it's not my job and it's not my responsibility to expose lies, betrayal, or deceit. Because the truth always wins, and I know that God sees all, and He hears all, and He's taking notes so that I don't have to. So I use these skills and these gifts with compassion and discernment. Our Creator entrusted me with these gifts to learn to hold non-judgment and unconditional love for everyone. So should I use my knowing as a weapon to comfort people who've hurt me? No, absolutely not. It's not my job to expose other people's lies. It's not my job to judge or call people out. Instead, I've learned to offer them understanding and forgiveness and let their truth be that. Their truth. It's not mine. My role is to hold compassion for humanity and to pray for the healing of those who need it. So here's a couple prompts for you before I close this out. Just a couple questions to think about or write in your journal if you're keeping a journal. The first question is, when have you sensed when have you sensed someone wasn't being truthful, even without having proof that they were not truthful? And how did you notice your body responding to that? And then asking yourself, are you honoring your inner knowing, or are you still second guessing? So your instincts combined with your body's physical reaction to falsehood and lies, it's not paranoia. These responses are actually messengers to guide you towards alignment with the truth. So the more you trust these signals, the more you step into your power. And as you work through on the healing journey, and you start to learn to trust your intuition and your inner knowing, just like with myself, these skills, these gifts, will strengthen in time, and they will become second nature for you. So there's just a brief episode today on why I'm a human lie detector. I hope you're doing well. I will see you again very soon. Take good care of yourselves. Until I see you next time, I wish you peace, love, and light. That's it for today. Bye for now.